Okay, Coach, you had your first and only exhibition game a couple days ago, and now the season opener is a couple days away. Can you just talk about your team, both coming off that exhibition, and then you've had a couple practices since then to start getting ready for the Iona trip?
Well, it's our last official preparation before we head on the road to play at the Iona tournament against Michigan. But anytime you get to put on your uniforms and play under the big lights and have your home fans in front of you, it's always fun. So that was basically our third contest, two close scrimmages prior to that, and then the exhibition before we head up to Iona, like I said. So it was a good final tune-up for us. We were able to work a lot of things offensively and defensively, and it's another good tape that we can learn from. We've watched it a lot already, and we'll continue to learn. Made a handful of mistakes by a bunch of different players, and we have learned from the previous two tapes as well. So it will be a good learning tool, like I said, to get us ready for this week's preparation before we play Michigan.
And real quick on the back on the Tiffin game, if you just talk about you had a number of newcomers, three freshmen saw action, as well as Erica Donovan, who sat out last year, and Jasmine Matthews, who sat out a good portion of last year due to injury. Just how, either overall or individually, how did you feel that group played?
Well, I think there was a lot of nerves out there, a lot of anxious moments before the game, staff included, having two new staff members
Sure.
and Sahar Nusbeh and J.C. Brooks, and then you have four freshmen. And as you said, Erica Donovan, who didn't play last year, she sat out to transfer rules, and Jasmine Matthews, who missed the last 20 games. So one of our freshmen can't play because she's still out with injury, Leah Bolton. So now you have 5 out of your 12 that haven't played a game ever with a Bowling Green uniform on, or haven't played a collegiate game in well over a year. So there was a lot of anxious moments before the game, and I told the team just to play hard, play through some of that nervous energy, and I thought we did a good job coming out of the gate starting. We came out, I think, on 11-2 run. The game kind of went back and forth after that. Going to halftime with a 14-point lead, we really everybody saw minutes in the first half, played a lot of different combinations, but we really emphasized in this particular game taking care of the ball, and we only had 8 turnovers compared to the previous scrimmage where we had twice as many, almost 3 times as many as that. Then we also emphasized that we really wanted to push the ball in transition in the second half and just get out and run, because I thought speed was on our side, and we were able to convert fast break points 30-0, and that was the big difference in the game. Yet you still were out rebounded by Tiffin, and there were a lot of loose balls. They had more loose balls than we did. So those two things that we'll have to correct. But we've watched it on film, and like I said earlier, we'll have a chance to learn from that. But overall, it was good to play in front of the home crowd and have so many new faces starting to feel more and more comfortable.
Then Friday's game with Michigan. I mean, in addition to kind of the unknown of a new season, Michigan coming off one of their best seasons in program history, but graduated a ton of players. They have a very young roster. Just kind of in the case of BG, they have a second-year coach there, but a coach who's been around the game for much longer, and I'm sure is able to implement her system a little more to her liking this year. Can you just talk about kind of the what Michigan brings to Friday's game, what you look for?
Well, when they put on their jerseys, it still says Michigan, and they're still in the Big Ten. So it doesn't matter if they're old or young; they have a tradition behind that name on their jersey. So it'll be a fantastic matchup, I think, between the two teams, because we're very similar in a lot of aspects in having so many new faces on our team. They are going to be led, I think, by Nicole Elmblad, a kid who was highly recruited out of high school, one of the just all-around best kids out there that I've ever met in the recruiting process, and they, like I said, they will be ready for us. They have a couple kids that are eligible that did not play last year as well. So anytime that you can play a Big Ten team in your non-conference schedule or a BCS team in your non-conference schedule, that will definitely help you get ready for the conference slate. It's ironic that we're so close in proximity, only about 45 minutes away, and we have to play at a neutral site in New York City, because I know this would be a game if it was either in Ann Arbor or Bowling Green. We'd have thousands attend, and that would have been fun. So now we'll probably be playing in a little bit of a smaller venue and probably in front of about 50 people. So that will take a little bit of luster out of it, but it's a team we respect greatly. As you said, they went to the second round of the NCAA tournament, really made a statement last year under their new coaching staff, and I know they're going to be riding the momentum of last season and carry that into this year.
And then on Saturday, you'll play another talented team, whether it's Arizona or Iona. We won't know till Friday evening. But can you just, and not so much, talk about them if you want, but just more, what are your thoughts on playing 2 games in 2 days like this so early in the season?
He'll definitely get us ready for the conference slate and for the MAC tournament. Unfortunately, that MAC tournament doesn't come around till March, so it'll test our conditioning. Right now, we've got 12 kids on the roster, with Leah still being hurt, so you're at 11, and we're having some knick-knacky injuries that are still healing up. So it will test our depth right away. We need to be extremely efficient with those that start as well as those who come off the bench. That has been a point of emphasis. I thought we got that efficiency in the last game against Tiffin here and did not miss a step by anybody who subbed in, and that was a big turning point for us. So we're looking for that same output this year with new rules that officials will be calling across the board for women's basketball in our game. I think that the deeper team will definitely have an advantage, because you will see kids in more and more foul trouble, and you'll see the style of play probably change until coaches figure out what type of philosophy they want to use, if they want to try and press now that there's a 10-second backcourt, or if they're afraid to foul and have to settle back into zone. It will be a lot of kind of a jigsaw puzzle, I think, for a lot of coaches to start the season. But anytime you play back-to-back games, no matter when it is, it will be a rigorous 2 days for us.
All right, Coach. Thanks very much. We'll catch up with you this weekend.
Thanks, Mike.